here in November 16, 2016 for preliminary hearing, State of West Virginia versus Lena Lunsford, case number 16M 21 F-140. Defendant Lena Lunsford, person present represented by Barbara Schamberger, and the state represented by Christine Flanagan, prosecuting attorney. This case was continued from last week due to scheduling conflict. Are we ready to proceed to preliminary? Explain.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that the defendant has a motion to address with the court first.
That's right.
Your Honor, we would move to reduce the bond for my client. It's currently $250,000 cash only. She has previously self-reported to prison on 2 other occasions. She has never been held on a capias. She is, I think, an appropriate candidate for home confinement in lieu of bond or home confinement with a lowered bond. And under the circumstances, I think it's appropriate. I'm not clear on whether the statute in this particular case is a capital offense or not. I don't believe it is, because it's not life, and she's never run. We would ask that it be reduced.
Your Honor, the state would oppose any form of bond reduction or modification at this time. I know Ms. Lunsford was arrested in Florida. I think previous to that she may have been in Tennessee, so there still is a concern of flight risk. She does have some criminal history. I know she had some issues while on parole, had a parole revoked. And then just based on the nature of the allegations and the complaint, Your Honor, the state would oppose any form of reduction or modification.
Okay. Any follow-up, Ms. Schamberger?
Your Honor, my client has never fled from a charge. She has never fled from a court case. She doesn't have a home in Tennessee or in Florida, so she has nowhere to go other than the state of West Virginia. And in fact, were the court to grant her home confinement in lieu of bond or with bond, we would have to make arrangements for her to have some place to stay even in the state of West Virginia. So she doesn't have anywhere to flee to.
She was extradited back from Florida, is that?
She was living in Florida, Your Honor. Her husband is leaving Florida and is coming to West Virginia. So she has nowhere to go back to in Florida.
Okay. Well,
and she did waive extradition, Your Honor. She didn't even.
I understand. I think based on the seriousness of the charge and I think there may be the potential of flight just due to the nature of the charge, there being in a couple other states. But I think also importantly, I took into consideration setting the bond. I think it's also in the interest of the safety of the community as well as Ms. Lunsford at this point. I understand that the bond is a substantial bond, but I think in this case it's warranted. So I'm going to deny the motion to reduce bond in this case. Any other motions to file before preliminary?
No.
All right. Are you prepared to go to preliminary today, or what's your position, Ms. Schamberger?
The state has agreed to provide us with discovery and ongoing discovery in lieu of a preliminary hearing.
Okay.
And my client's willing to waive for preliminary hearing in order to obtain discovery in this matter.
Okay. And Ms. Lunsford, I know you talked to your attorney before both hearings and probably in between, but at least before the hearings that we've had scheduled for last week and this week, and like I said, I'm sure in between. But I know she's explained to you your right to a preliminary hearing to be held. You waived your time frame on that, so it was outside the 10-day window, which you were in agreement to last week. Is it your desire to waive your preliminary hearing and everything be transferred to circuit court from this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand you have the right to a preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Testify on your own behalf or be silent at that hearing. Cross-examine witnesses that the state may call or testify against you. That you understand that's your right to do? And so at this point, your desire with the advice of your counsel to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chamber, if you want this form, didn't sign that. Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, before I sign off on the waiver, I just want to make sure that before I do that, there's anything else on behalf of the state, Ms. Smith?
No, Your Honor.
Chamber, anything else on behalf of the state today? Or on the defense? All right, sign off. be transferred to circuit court jurisdiction in this case.